The father of a 4-year-old girl on a ventilator with a Strep A infection warns other parents to be alert to the symptoms and act quickly. Camilla Burns was admitted to Liverpool's Alder Hey Children's Hospital earlier this week.
Any doubts, if they don't look right or anything, just scoop them up and take them. Get them checked out rapid.
England's footballers say they're prepared for extra time and penalties in tomorrow's World Cup knockout match against Senegal. And keen to be seen in green, Prince William and Kate arrive for the Environmental Awards, the Earthshot Prize in Boston. Good afternoon. The father of a 4-year-old girl with a Strep A infection, currently on a ventilator in hospital, is urging other parents to act quickly if they think their child might be affected. Dean Burns says his family has been living an absolute nightmare since his daughter Camilla was admitted to Liverpool's Alder Hey Children's Hospital earlier this week. The Strep A infection, which causes scarlet fever, is normally mild, but there have been more cases than usual recently, with 6 children in England and Wales dying from the bacteria. Here's Eunice Muller.
Camilla from Bolton has been described by her father as a special little girl, but the 4-year-old is in intensive care and on a ventilator at Liverpool's Alder Hey Children's Hospital. It was thought at first she had a sickness bug, then her chest started hurting, and a day later she was rushed to hospital and has needed life-saving intervention. Her family have been told she has a serious Strep A infection.
We've been here since Monday, just trying and willing and praying just to make a full recovery, to stay with us.
And how has Strep A, how has it affected her?
It's just devastated her, isn't it? It's just such a beautiful little girl. It's just a special little girl.
Infections caused by Group A strep bacteria are usually mild with symptoms like sore throat and skin infections. It can also cause scarlet fever. Health officials say they're seeing more scarlet fever. In the week to 20th November, there were 851 cases recorded in England. The average for the same week in preceding years is 186. Very rarely, Strep A can also cause something called invasive Group A strep, or IGAS, which can be deadly. 5 children under 10 have died in England of the invasive Group A strep since September, and another 7-year-old Hannah Rope in Wales. The UK Health Security Agency has said there is no evidence a new strain is circulating, and the rises are most likely because of high amounts of circulating bacteria and social mixing.
Any doubts, if they don't look right or anything, just scoop them up and take them. Get them checked out rapid.
These infections are rare, but if parents have concerns, they're being urged to contact NHS 111 or their GP. Eunice Muller, BBC News, Liverpool.
At the World Cup in Qatar, the England manager Gareth Southgate says his side is ready for extra time and penalties against the African champion Senegal in tomorrow's match in the last 16. The World Cup has now reached the knockout stage. Here's our sports editor, Dan Rowan.
Another young lion roars at the World Cup.
It's been a case of so far, so good for goals or earned more points in the group stage, one of only a handful of sides to emerge unbeaten. But they know that defeat from here on in means going home. The manager aware his side has no room for error against Senegal tomorrow.
We've been very impressed. We know that they're African champions, very proud, great competitive spirit. A lot of belief in the team, some excellent individual players who can cause problems.
Prove the point, so it's going to be a headache for Gareth to pick the team for the next game. You can't afford to make mistakes or start a game badly now because you're going to be sent home.
Meanwhile, England trained here today with all 25 players present.
For years, England feared knockout matches like this, but having reached the semi-finals and final of their last 2 major tournaments, Gareth Southgate's side has proven it has what it takes to handle such pressure. However, this World Cup has shown that no side is safe from a shock result. Senegal stand in the way of England and a place in the quarter-finals, but their preparations have been disrupted. Inspirational head coach.
He's been ill for the last 2 days. Yesterday, he asked us to do the training for him. We are sure that tomorrow evening, when the match starts, he will be the one in charge of the team.
Senegal have already made their presence felt here in Doha this week, and while their side may be regarded as underdogs, their fans believe an upset is on the cards.
Senegal 3, England 0.
Wow, that's very confident.
Yes.
It will be a big mistake if England cannot take seriously Senegal team. It will be a big mistake for England.
20 years ago, Senegal celebrated their greatest World Cup success, reaching the last 8. England's task here to prevent a repeat.
Well, Gareth Southgate has just finished his press conference here at the Media Centre in Doha, and he's all too aware, of course, that not only is it now win or bust, but matches could go to the dreaded penalty shootout. Now, England's record under him is mixed when it comes to that. 4 years ago in the last World Cup, they progressed in a shootout against Colombia, but of course, on the other hand, last year in the final of the Euros, there was that heartbreak at the hands of Italy in a shootout as well. They'll be desperate to avoid it going to that stage. They say they've prepared. There's no doubt, though, that this World Cup is showing, Clive, that international football is becoming a little bit more competitive. For the first time ever, a team from every one of the competing confederations has reached the last 16. 2 from Africa, one of which is Senegal, of course, and these surprises definitely serve as a warning to England to take nothing for granted.
Indeed. Dan, many thanks for that. Dan Rowan there live in Doha. The former government minister Conor Burns has been cleared of misconduct and will be readmitted to the Conservative Party. The MP for Bournemouth West was sacked as Trade Minister following a complaint about his behaviour at this year's Tory party conference. Mr Burns consistently denied any wrongdoing and said the experience was a living nightmare. The government is to review why many small businesses across the UK erode billions of pounds in unpaid invoices. Some firms face bankruptcy because they're not getting paid. With more, here's our business correspondent Mark Ashdown.
At the Tomfoolery Cafe in Shoreham-by-Sea, they do make a mean cappuccino. But the past few years have been no joking matter for husband and wife team Bob and Vanessa, as they struggle with the difficulties facing many small businesses.
Numerous challenges, darling.
I think one of the key challenges that we've been facing is recruitment along the south coast.
We keep a weekly spreadsheet, don't we, of course. So we're up to date with it, and that is the challenge. We are all being squeezed, both the suppliers, from their end, and us who sort of serve the public.
To mark Small Business Saturday, the government is launching a review into late payments. Ministers estimate small firms are owed £23 billion in outstanding invoices. They want to make sure bigger players aren't ripping them off.
The number one thing people talk about is wanting more customers, needing more turnover, more people buying their stuff. But also, of course, when you're selling your stuff, you want to get the money in for that stuff. And businesses that have to wait for payment are really suffering, and that can really be life-threatening for many businesses.
Your own costs going up the bottom.
Labour wants full transparency, with a list published naming slow payers. A new survey found 2/3 of the UK's 5 million small businesses think they'll struggle next year with rising costs, especially energy bills.
The message we're getting back loud and clear is that small businesses are fed up with the government that's crashed the economy. And it's not just the last 12 weeks that's caused huge problems, it's the last 12 years. And we need to listen to that. We need a positive plan to turn the economy around.
During the pandemic, when we could go out, we tended to shop local. So high streets like this got a real boost. Already, though, that's starting to change. As the cost of living is rising, it seems we're turning back to bigger names, bigger brands, who, of course, are better placed to cut costs and offer us a bargain.
Can I get you anything at all?
But it's the little touches, the personality, attention to detail that really makes a difference, as another husband and wife team, Simon and Sophie, here in Brighton, know all too well.
You can't have a more personal experience or a more intimate experience than you get when you buy locally and when you support a local business. The people who are running the business, making those decisions, are the people that you meet every day.
These businesses are described as the beating heart of our communities. They're hoping by this time next year they might have a bit more to celebrate. Mark Ashdown, BBC News.
5 winners of the environmental award, the Earthshot Prize, have been announced at a star-studded ceremony in Boston. The annual awards were created by Prince William to fund projects helping to save the planet, and the event marks the culmination of the Prince and Princess of Wales trip to America. Our climate editor Justin Rowlatt has more on the winners, and his report contains some flash photography.
The Prince and Princess of Wales were greeted with cheers in a chilly Boston last night. They'd rolled out the green carpet and invited a host of celebrities, actors, singers, and David Beckham. But this was really all about the environment.
It's my hope the Earthshot legacy will continue to grow, helping our communities and our planet to thrive.
He says Earthshot scours the world for the most innovative ideas to help repair and restore the natural world. And we had our first UK-based winner, a company that turns seaweed into this. A biodegradable alternative to plastic that has already lined 1 million fast food containers and can even be formed into edible liquid bubbles.
Cheers. We were really inspired by the way nature makes these elegant shapes and uses all these natural materials, and how we could translate that into packaging.
There was a low-cost and portable greenhouse designed by an Indian firm that dramatically reduces water and pesticide use by the poorest farmers, as well as boosting their harvests. And the Kenyan company, led by women, that has designed a cheap, efficient and cleaner alternative to traditional cooking stoves. Each of the 5 winners gets £1 million and support to grow their businesses, helping them share the benefits their ideas can bring. This firm in Oman has developed technology to store carbon dioxide in rocks. The award ceremony coincided with the release of this trailer for Harry and Meghan's new documentary series.
No one sees what's happening behind closed doors.
It made an uncomfortable backdrop for the awards. But the Waleses kept their attention studiously on the future and how these new Earthshot Prize winners can improve it. Justin Rowlatt, BBC News.
Back to the World Cup, and the first of the knockout matches has taken place, with the Netherlands beating the USA 3-1 to reach the quarter-finals. Nesta McGregor has the full story.
Right on half-time, it was 2-0. Different goal scorer, almost identical finish. The team in orange well on course for the last 8, the USA needing a hero. And they got one. On as a second-half substitute, Haji Wright. Right place, right foot, right lucky, some would say.
It's a miracle goal.
Searching for an equaliser, the 3-1 the final score. The American dream is over. The Dutch unbeaten run stretches to 19 games. Can they go all the way? And that's the big question. Later we will find out the answer. It's either going to be Lionel Messi's Argentina or maybe Australia, who surprised many by making it to the knockout stages. That match, Clive, kicks off in just under 2 hours here.
Nesta, thank you. Nesta McGregor there, live in Doha. That's it. I'll be back with the late news at 10:15. Till then, bye for now.